we're live, and let me just get to the center of it. And how are you? 6-1. That's what England did against Panama. And the message coming from England has changed a little bit, and it's fairly so that that's the case. So England feel confident, both the players, the coaches, the fans. And it's only fair that that's the case, because in a World Cup, of course, if things go well, no matter what the rival are, if your goal scorers are scoring, if you hardly concede, those things are definitely positive. Yes, it was only Panama, I agree with that, but you have to play whoever you have as a rival. Should we start with that? Big Bear says that we're going to win the World Cup. See what I mean? See, up till now, England was like those guys that you invite to a party, and while everybody's kind of having fun, they're just outside going like, I don't know if we're going into the party or not. After Tunisia and seeing that other teams have failed to make an impact from the beginning, you could see them in the door saying, it's quite a good party, should we come in? And they were kind of thinking about it. And now they're all partying inside because, yes, it's a World Cup that a lot of teams can win. We can go back to all that. But let me just say, I put a tweet out in which I said that the quality of the players behind the strikers, the one between the lines, perhaps wasn't good enough, and there was other choices to be made for that position. And then, of course, England wins 6-1. And he's been retweeted and laughed at, Gary Neville amongst others. And two things about it. One, football has got the ability to slap you in the face when you least expect it. But two, I was trying to make a bigger point, which I already made in the first one. The way that England wants to play needs quality in that position, because it's where there is less space and you have to take decisions quicker. You see Sterling dropping deep, so did Kane. That means that the guys doing the role there, left us cheek and Lingard, at that point, weren't doing it well enough, and there was a accumulation of players. But the victory, of course, will make all that forgotten, and it's against bigger sides that you may see England struggling there, or may not. That's what I think anyway. But the 6-1 comes from, I think the goals came before the game started, if you know what I mean. In set pieces, England are absolutely fantastic. This beard is actually growing, Sakif. And what happens in every World Cup, I actually let it grow, and I don't touch it. So I'm going to have one like this at the end of the World Cup. Anyway, Jeffries, you say that reach the quarters or the semi-finals. We will see, because of course it could be an easy draw in the next round if England is first, but then they may have the winner of perhaps Brazil, Germany for the next one. But anyway, Panama team is pathetic, opticums. The thing with Panama is that you see how they celebrated the goal as if they won the World Cup. They knew it was about not conceding a lot of goals, about scoring one historical goal. Did you see the video of the journalist when in the first game of Panama against Belgium, when the national anthem came up, they started hugging each other, no one was crying. They weren't live, but the video came out. And that's what it means for Panama, a country of, is it 3.5 million or even less? Is it 1.5? Help! Because I forgot that stat. But anyway, it is a massive thing for them. And Arpit, you're right, the strike from Jesse Lingard. That strike from Jesse Lingard came in the first move between the lines that worked, and it was a great finish. So it is fair to be excited, Jason. It's absolutely fair to be excited, because 2 games, 2 victories, and you can go back to other teams. And I know that teams don't really have to do with whatever England is doing, but it puts a really good context to it. And others have struggled to make this kind of impact. So, England have got a lot of positives, as we say. The fact that Lingard scored, that Johnston scored, the building from the back was decent to that point. I heard in 5 Live, I think it was Chris Waddle saying that the performance against Tunisia was better. Perhaps it was better because he needed to be better. There was not much of a performance needed here, because, as I was saying earlier, England look fantastic in set pieces. Great great pictures of the team getting together and saying, they were probably just reminding everybody what the role was in that set piece that Trippier starts and then it just goes pim, 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 pim. Poor Sterling missed out, but then John Stones scored the second goal. Set piece is great. England are fantastic, and we've seen a World Cup in which games have been won in set pieces. So those are things that do count as well. I wouldn't, because in the second half it was so much about leave the score as it was almost, making sure that nobody got injured, that they controlled the game. You cannot really take the defensive performance from then on in the second half as one to judge England really. It was a game that was over after the second game really. What do I think of what the Panama coach said to the England coach? I was writing for AS. I was just keeping an eye on the game, but anyway, you start thinking everything is going so well for England. Everything is going so well for England, including, and bear with me for this one, including the fact that the controversies were soft controversies before this second game. It was absolutely soft controversies, but it distracted everybody in a good way, as in, that the England media, the tabloids need controversy. The controversy and personality is really what they like to write about. Well, in terms of personalities, they found in Sterling this target, and as using his own words, it's unbelievable that certain England press are just going after him. My impression of it is because he perhaps doesn't look very much like the audience that those stories is going to, if you know what I mean. All very strange. But anyway, the other two things that everybody wrote about is that Southgate fell and dislocated his shoulder. I don't doubt that it's true, but he seemed completely fine today, jumping up and down and celebrating with the fans, which was wonderful to see as well. And the story about the picture and the role of media in an open training session, it was all so soft and so ridiculous. It was an opportunity for those that think that media should not exist. Be careful with no media, by the way. But those that think that media should not exist and they don't want intermediates, they want to talk directly to the players and to the coaches. Those that think that the media are completely responsible and have got no importance whatsoever, those used the controversy to use it as a stick to give to the media. We'll talk about the media and fans and social networks another day, but the whole thing was ridiculous. We were looking from the distance, and colleagues of mine from other countries here in Moscow as well were going like, what's that about? Really stupid controversy, but all soft. So I just wonder if the FA were clever enough to actually put that picture out there so everybody argues about it, distracts Panama, if there was need of it, and then just keep Sterling in the lineup, of course. Anyway, it seems like even the controversies are soft in this World Cup. And that's good for England, because you have to hear the England players in the past saying how much that distracted them in the past. So now let's see who they face in the next round. Still early to say, of course. Colombia, Japan, Senegal, Poland. If I'm not mistaken, that will be the team to play against if they first, and then the next round it could be, if England is first, it could be against Germany or Brazil, maybe. We will see. So what else can we say about England? Or maybe I should just read your messages and take it from there. The Panama coach talked to the England coach. No, I didn't see that. Jose Molina, just tell me what it was. Oh, Supreme. Well, if you think I am, then just go somewhere else. But thanks for coming over and saying that and spending your time with that. I always appreciate your opinions, including yours. Lingard was good. Yes, when the team opened up, obviously after 2-0, it's very difficult to judge very, very difficult to judge that game. But he was involved, he scored, and that's what you want from that kind of player on the edge. Best goal, Coutinho against Portugal? Possibly. I love the Musa goal. The one in which he gets the long ball. His first touch is perfect to control the ball. Second touch is perfect to avoid the defender, who then has to be careful not to commit a penalty. Then he dribbles the goalkeeper, and then he looks at the goal and has got the opportunity to score in different ways, but has got two defenders close to the goal line and still managed to score. That was a fantastic goal. Next podcast guest, Zach. I don't know yet. I was trying to think if we left anything in the can, but I think we've used everything we've done so far. There will be more things coming, that's for sure. So is Germany strong for another final? You know, the thing with Germany is that they know, this is if you don't mind me saying this, the Real Madrid of the World Cup or of the world nations. They don't need to play well to actually win, but they actually played well in the second half. The second half, they were patient in the build-up. They had in Mario Gomez a reference of front, but they didn't use it all the time. They combined, they went down the wings. The crosses were sometimes high crosses to Mario Gomez. Some of the times it was low crosses to the likes of Müller. It was a team that with Brand, you wonder why he doesn't play more, has got a lot of quality in the last third. My worry is at the back, of course. Not just because Boateng is going to be missing, it's because it's so difficult when you defend so high up the pitch, not to be found if you are attacked cleverly as Mexico did. Can Argentina go through, Arjun? I've got the impression that they will. But it's an opportunity that they've been given that will not change really their destiny in this World Cup. You heard the stories of the players almost taking over. You look at the team and you look at the players that Messi has to play with, and it's not a very good team, but should be good enough to go to the next round for sure. But they need now to score against Nigeria, to do a good game first, and let's see if in the same way that Messi saved them against Ecuador, and really he is responsible for the successful era of Argentina, successful by being in 3 finals in recent times, despite the structural problems of the federation, despite some players that either don't perform in World Cups or they not good enough for Argentina. Anyway, it's despite all that, he's been sorting them out. At the moment, there seems to be like a virus going through the side in which everybody's deflated and nobody is basically playing to the level. Kovacic, somebody's asking, a little bit of a jump from the World Cup. I like him a lot, actually, and Real Madrid don't want to let him go. That's the situation at the moment, so we will see. Thoughts on VAR so far, Sabe? Well, 2 things. One, the big concept of VAR, I said it in the past, I don't agree with. I think, and I use always the same words when I say this, for me, football is life, and life is football. And in life there are mistakes, and correcting the mistakes and accepting the mistakes, and what you do after a mistake is what makes you grow as a person, as a player, as a team. So now we're just focusing more on technology, saving those mistakes or trying to correct those mistakes, but doesn't sort them all out. For instance, Germany, Sweden, there were 2 penalties that should have been given to Sweden, but why not? Final decision is on the referee, who made the mistake of not accepting the information that we assume the VAR gave him. Why? Is it because it was Germany and they were about to be knocked out? Is it human instinct of I don't know, being scared of big nations that stops a decision like that? Whatever it was a mistake. So VAR is not sorting out mistakes. So if it's not sorting out mistakes, why do we keep having VAR? But it's here to stay. And there are positives. I've got mixed feelings about VAR. There are positives, of course. Was it the penalty? Help me here. On the edge of the box, he actually took place the penalty on the penalty line, which means that it is a penalty. And that basically just referee gave the penalty. I'm trying to think which game it was. Gave the penalty, and VAR confirmed that it was a penalty. For that, it takes that controversy away, of course. But there is still mixed feelings about a game being stopped to see technology. I think football should be much more simpler. For me, football, the essence of football is in a park, 2 stones marking the goal, and whatever ball that you get, that you have. That's for me the essence. Are we taking the game away from football? But that's a completely different subject. Quite clearly, VAR has sorted out some situations, but do not sort out all the controversy and all the mistakes. So if it doesn't, what's the point? Anyway, jumpers for goalposts. Yes, true. The jumpers and the jackets. Yeah, that's football, isn't it? Well, that's what I think the beautiful game finds its essence, and it shouldn't be too far away from it. So, bench strength from England is not too bad. If Dele Alli recovers, of course, you've seen Loftus-Cheek, they've got a lot of room for improvement, but has got quality, of course. For me, the problems are perhaps at the back with England. Pickford, I'm not so sure about. He's confident with the ball and his feet, but we'll have to see him tested. Walker as the right centre-back, I'm not too convinced about. You see the penalty that he committed against Tunisia. When the heat is on, perhaps he struggles a bit, and that's the difference between being very good and being an elite top player. When the heat is on, that you react in the right way. But to be honest, there's not much you can say about this England side after 2 wins and 2 games and 2 wins. Belgium, I told you about it yesterday. Quite clearly, those injuries that Hazard and Mertens and Lukaku have picked are very convenient, and it's time to rest. And of course, Roberto Martinez quite quickly reacted to what it is, just basic medical information, to say major changes against England. I don't think anybody wants to be top of that group because of the road to a possible final. When Italy won the World Cup, was it 2006? Correct me if I'm wrong, but they were in first of the group, and then they ended up having I can't remember who was first, Ghana maybe, and then Ukraine. Anyway, it was an easy route to easier route to the final. Doesn't take anything away, of course. That gets forgotten, as I've just done on the way to a final. Loftus-Cheek performance column, I think he was good. He grew into the game. He has got a lot of quality and will be a regular with the national side. I just wonder if this one has come out a little bit too early. But brilliant player, no doubt about that. I just wonder with another team. Having said that, with another team, say Belgium, for instance, if they had to play for the games, for the points, Belgium will open up. There will be more spaces, so perhaps there will be a better opportunity to get Lingard and Loftus-Cheek or Dele Alli if he recovers in that position. I just think that perhaps is the weakness of England and a little bit at the back. But there is no team in this World Cup that hasn't got weaknesses. For instance, Spain, and let me finish with this. Let me explain something that I was trying to explain yesterday, and some of the comments suggested I didn't understand. When I said that Isco plays tiki-taka is not a positive comment on a style. Tiki-taka is the worst version of possession and positional football. What I mean by that is the best version of positional and possession football is Barcelona, of course, where everybody knows the role, they are in their position, and the ball moves, not so much the players with it. The ball moves. And everybody has to stay in their position most of the time. So, 2 reasons. So whoever has the ball knows, that he's got 2 or 3, 4 possibilities of passes, because they've been training to know that somebody's going to be there, somebody's going to be there, somebody's going to be there. But also when somebody loses the ball, they can recover it quickly because they're there to recover it. It's an organized attack. That's proper football. Tiki-taka is just passing the ball for passing the ball, conservative football. Actually, we saw a lot of that in 2012 when Spain kept the ball for keeping it to defend, not so much to attack with it, and hence the 1-goal difference victories that took us to the win, and hence many people complaining that we were boring. Well, I think Isco plays more tiki-taka, meaning he drives with the ball, he comes out, he gets into cul-de-sacs, which he has to come out from, and when he does, it's brilliant when he does, so people think, oh, isn't it brilliant, but he's actually got himself into trouble. Look at Iniesta's simple passes, and wanting the ball and giving it, and then moving. That is the kind of football that Spain should play. The problem is, with Hierro in charge, and this is not a criticism, but certainly he has a choice to make. Do we go for the Iniesta, Silva, Busquets and Piqué style of football of possession and positional game, or do we go for Costa, Koke, Saul, Isco type of football? And at the moment we're going towards that, towards more a football that is not based on position, is more based on quality of the individuals, and quality that is. So I think you're going to see Iniesta and Silva perhaps being rested. It's been suggested by a colleague of mine that Saul and Asensio may come on into to start. So we will see if that's the case. Anyway, I kept you long enough. For those of you that have stayed from the beginning, for those that have come along the way, thank you for coming over, and there'll be more of these videos as the World Cup. I'm going to tell him my plan for tomorrow. Today I'm going for dinner with friends, but tomorrow, let me see, because I think I'm going to a game. Not a great finish to finish a video, to be honest, but right. So maybe not tomorrow. No. My next game would be Denmark-France on Tuesday. That's the plan. All right. That's it. See you later. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Bye.